aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to aka Geeks. This is Real News. I'm your host Sean. Let's get into it, you guys. Alright, so for all you 80s movie fans out there, Tom Cruise in a interview promoting his new movie, The Mummy, stated that he is going to be making Top Gun 2. He stated that filming for Top Gun 2 will actually start within the next year. Other news coming out this week regarding this is that his director for the movie Oblivion, Joseph Kosinski, is the frontrunner for director of Top Gun 2. So I enjoyed the first Top Gun. I for what it is, I think it's what it is, and it's enjoyable. I've watched it many times. I enjoy it. I like it, and every now and then, it's just good to pop in there. Now, there's been talk of Top Gun 2 happening for quite a while now. So the fact that he's saying that it's going to happen now, I don't know if I want to believe it or not. I don't know if this is just going to remain in the rumor mill. The fact that they now have somebody as a frontrunner for director, that makes it a little bit more solid, but it's still in the rumor mill for me. And if you look at Joseph Kosinski's, his track record, he doesn't have much of a track record to begin with. He doesn't have much experience as a director. He did Tron Legacy, Oblivion. He directed one of Destiny's trailers. So he doesn't have much experience. So with all that being said, I think this is really cool, really great news if you believe rumors. As of right now, I'm gonna hold it to being just that, rumor, and I'm gonna take it all with a grain of salt. I do hope it does happen. I really hope he's telling the truth. Tom Cruise is telling the truth, and hopefully we will find out sooner rather than later. Big news from Sony, you guys. They have casted Tom Holland as the young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted live-action film. This film has been up, down, in all kinds of turmoil over the last few years. At one point, it was said that Mark Wahlberg was going to be Nathan Drake. I'm pretty sure I even talked about it at one point. But it has now come to the point where Tom Holland is a hot commodity, and they chose to have him be Nathan Drake. They're gonna focus the film around a section of the games in Uncharted 3, where he meets Sully when he's a young Nathan Drake. Now, because Tom Holland is about 20 years old now, I don't think that they're necessarily going to go, step for step, page by page, line by line with that story. But it's going to be something of the sort. He will most likely be playing Nathan Drake a little bit older than 13 to 15 years old. Because he's 20, he does look young still, but I mean, that's a stretch from 20 to 13 years of age. This section of the game where he meets Sully, it adds a lot of possibilities, I think. It's a point where you can cast him and start from this point. You can cast Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Start from this point. You can even have a Sully in there that's not too much older than Tom Holland, in the sense that he can still be in the role for quite a while, considering how long Sully is friends with and still going on adventures with Nathan Drake in number 4. So if you get somebody in their 40s that's 20 years older, you can probably do 4 or 5 films with this if it really does well. I am not at the point where I am turned off by this at all. I've heard that some people are turned off for this. I'm okay with this because this is kind of like Indiana Jones in a sense. Everybody wants more Indiana Jones. A lot of people don't want anybody other than Harrison Ford. But at this point, Harrison Ford he's very old, and you don't know how much longer he can continue doing an Indiana Jones film and still give it 100%. But are they willing to cast somebody younger and maybe go back in time or do flashbacks? With Uncharted, you cast Tom Holland young, and you can continually tell those stories and still have it be connected to the video game universe if you'd like to. You can continue to tell many stories that happen through his life where he's hunting for treasures, and you don't have to have him connect to the video games. It's very much wide open with this casting. I am okay with it. I would like to see what they have in store, what they have planned, and I'm excited for it. And speaking of franchises, the Resident Evil franchise has finally come to an end with the final chapter, but hasn't really come to an end. Constantine Film has stated that they are actually going to reboot the Resident Evil franchise already, and they plan 6 more films. It isn't said whether or not they're going to keep the same director, Wes Paul Anderson. He's married to Mila Djokovic. And if they're going to keep her in it, or if they're going to even have these movies connected. But the main wording here is rebooted. So hopefully they're going to start over. Hopefully they're going to start fresh. Hopefully they make something that's a lot closer towards what Resident Evil used to be, and maybe even what Resident Evil is now with number 7. Because where they went with the Resident Evil franchise with Mila Djokovic, it was laughable in my opinion. A lot of people think so too. A lot of us with AKA Geeks think so as well. There's one of us, I think, that loves it, but there's a couple of us that aren't so fond of it. So I definitely am open for a new director. I'm definitely open for a new direction. But the other thing that I don't like about this announcement is, why do you have to announce 6 films? There's no reason to announce, oh, we're making 6 films. They just did that with Power Rangers. And what happened? Power Rangers overall, worldwide, has only made like $150 million. Odds are they're not even going to make a second Power Ranger film, because I doubt it's even made back its production budget with all of the marketing. With something that resembles that, why not hold it close to your chest? Why not keep that within, the business, within you and the other people that are planning this? Keep it to yourselves. Just make one movie, make a good movie, maybe leave an opening in there that we can expand upon and go from there. Don't give us this. There's no need for, oh, we're making 6 films, you guys are gonna be amazed. I hope that with this announcement of the rebooted franchise, they go in a different direction, gives us something different than what the last Resident Evil franchise was, and give us something fresh, and kind of, calm down a little bit with the 6 films and go one by one, movie by movie. And last bit of news, you guys, kind of sad news. Zack Snyder, he recently took a bit of a leave of absence from filming or post-production on Justice League. This was back in, I think it was March, the beginning of March, due to a family crisis. I'm not going to speak too much on it. Just bad news for him and his family, and heartfelt, at least from where I'm at. I feel for him. He was going to try to come back after a while, after having a bit of a leave, and try to help that get him through the situation. But he found that with his family is where he needs to be. So at this point, he's actually exited Justice League. They are in post-production right now. So all of it except for CGI and maybe a few scenes that they might have to film again are done, or stuff that's already been scheduled. That's all that needs to be done. So he's exiting, and Joss Whedon will be filling the role of director. So I feel bad for everything that Zack Snyder is going through. He's received a lot of crap for everything he's done. I probably have said some things I've never wanted to dig on the guy, because overall I like him as a filmmaker and what he can do with setting a scene, because he's amazing at it. He's one of the best at setting a scene, and he can just bring things to life, but he's just not that great of a storyteller. So I know there's a lot of people giving him crap throughout, time and time again, through all the stuff he's done with the DCEU, but he's done his best, and now he's going through this situation, and he's doing what's important to him, and I respect the man a lot. There's been situations in all of our lives, I'm sure, where we've had to make decisions like this. I made one a couple years ago, and I've stayed true to it. And it doesn't make life easier, the fact that I made my decision with what I was going through. And I could totally understand where he's at. So, mad respect to him. I hope that he and his family can get through this situation. I am very excited for the film Justice League because of what they've shown us with the trailers. The DCEU has a habit of giving us pretty dang good trailers, but not fulfilling that trailer promise with the film. I'm really hoping that this film can do it. This Wonder Woman next week can do it. And Joss Whedon could help close the gaps if there's anything there that needs to be done. Alright guys, now on to the trailer segment. This week there was 2 trailers for one movie that caught my attention. It was the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. It was the regular trailer and the international trailer. I didn't want to see any more trailers for this film, but with these 2 trailers, I'm actually quite happy with what they showed. Some people are saying that these trailers are showing a little too much. At this point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think that you can kind of judge where certain movies are gonna go, at least a few options of what could happen. And I don't think that's an entirely terrible thing, but it's not a great thing. At this point, these trailers gave us a little bit more of the story, a little bit more of what we're dealing with Michael Keaton's character. And so I'm happy that this came out, but I would have much rather these come out a while back and maybe take one of the other trailers out. At this point, the film is a month away, just a little bit more than a month away. So now I am truly, honestly done. No more trailers. You guys go check out these trailers. They're actually really good. They fill you in on some stuff to get ready, prep for the film. All right, guys, now onto the in-theater segment. This week in theaters, there's 2 movies that have caught my attention. First off is Baywatch. This film stars Zac Efron, The Rock, and a few other people. A couple of them I've liked what they've done so far. You got The Rock's daughter from San Andreas, and she was also in True Detective season 2. I've only seen one scene from that season. I'm sure a lot of you guys have only seen one scene from that season too. But on a serious note, I'm not hearing really good reviews about this film, and that scares me. I've been really excited for this film, but but I'm hearing very bad reviews. I'm hearing that there's good chemistry between the cast and that group of people at Baywatch, but I've heard that the script, the dialogue is dumb and stupid. And then also from what I've heard is that the trailers give away the best comedic points in the film. So I'm a little scared about seeing that one, and I was really excited to see it at first. The other film that is coming out this weekend is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I am not a huge Pirates fan. I am interested in seeing this film. I've heard mixed reviews. I am not a super fan of it, so I hope that I can go into it and be critical of my opinion of it. But I am excited for it overall. I know there's going to be some spectacle, and so I am looking forward to it. Maybe go see it in a week or two. Alright guys, so that's it for this week's episode of Real News. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation about all the topics I covered today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
aka Geeks.